surprised we're not seeing them again. Maybe,
May
actually it was like around the 50 to 100, right? That's what
Yeah,
they were at. So
yeah,
maybe we'll see them when we get a little bit further up.
right. So Ed, your high-def zoom there that you were showing off,
Yeah.
that was really nice. And that's a new feature you're working on?
What, just being able to zoom the
Well,
organisms
the
like that?
speed you were doing it at, it was like
Oh.
the pan out was
Yeah,
just...
yeah. So I've kind of discovered that we have, through some unknown anomaly, gotten better lens control than we've had previously. It's always been a bit frustrating because the lens itself that's inside the housing has a infinitely variable servo motor that you would use for cinematography. So you can start a zoom super slow and increase or decrease the speed without the viewer noticing. But to implement it in a deep sea housing, they've used voltage control to give you about 4 speeds that you can access with a very visible step between those speeds. So I just started playing around. It looks like we've got more control now. So I haven't tried the faster zooms, but I want to do some more testing to see.
That was the slowest?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
as slow as I could go, and
Yeah.
it was always 2.5 times that speed.
Yeah.
With a very visible stop at the end. So what we
Right.
normally do if we're zooming out of an organism, we just zoom all the way till we get full wide and it does a hard stop, which gives our editor Jacob time to do a dissolve out before we get to that hard stop.
Right.
But if I can actually get a stop in myself, that gives us more opportunities to shoot.
Yeah, especially with those shots of the coral. I mean,
Yeah.
just the detail and then getting to see the size and the...
Yeah, and being able to start
structure.
a pull out that the viewer's not like suddenly shocked by.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping to be able to accomplish now. That would be new. I think I've probably worked with every one of these cameras made. I go minus 2 of them, and haven't been able to do that on others. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Do some more testing next dive.
Yeah. Excellent. I am so glad that cinematograph, oh my gosh. Cinematography, yeah, and just the technology on these cameras is developing the way it is, because it is so cool to get to see those images.
Unfortunately, our deep sea imaging solutions lag considerably behind their terrestrial counterparts for many reasons, including having to live in a pressure-resistant housing, which doesn't offer cooling opportunities. You know, we're in 1 atmosphere of air or nitrogen. You can put a fan in there, you can put a heat sink in there, but there's nowhere for that heat to go. And data is energy, which is heat. So you put a 4K 12 gigabit per second camera in a housing and it overheats. The cameras that are used on episodic television and film productions now, which aren't even film, they overheat in air. You're shooting on a hot day, the cameras overheat. So you put that in a housing, it's challenging. And then the size of the housing becomes problematic because most cameras' bodies don't have the sensor in the center, like the geometric center of the body. It's offset. And so that means the housing has to be that much bigger because the sensor needs to be in the center of the housing. There's exceptionally complex math that you need to take into account to correct for the geometric distortion that happens when light travels through water and then converts to traveling through air. Especially when you're doing scientific imaging, you don't want to distort the size of an organism.
Because the casing has so much air that it's going to travel through too.
And then you have to also correct for the distortion of colors, especially around the edges. It's usually called chromatic aberration. And so you have to prevent that as well. So it's a computer scientist would describe it as a non-trivial problem to put imaging underwater.
Watching you fiddle with all the different, I mean, light, contrast,
yeah, well,
all this
we cheat.
focus.
We have test and measurement equipment. We have focus peaking monitors. So we leverage some technology over here to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty spectacular.
Yes, it's hard to get right, and you know, to take a camera and make it so it can withstand about 10,000 pounds of pressure per square inch.
Right.
That's a difficult engineering problem, and if you wanted to start a company to do that, and you made the best camera in the world for deep sea imaging, you'd probably spend $1 to $3 million to do it, and if you were wildly successful, you'll sell 6 of those. So it's a very small market with very few players.
So how many are you buying?
Well, you know, we have worked with people who have a variety of imaging solutions, and what we're using here, I would argue for deep sea work is about one of the best that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorted out what it is, but good morning. Wait, why do I have a hot mic? I shouldn't.
Roger that, thank you, Cap. Control, back deck.
Back deck control, go ahead.
Yeah, I got eyes on Hercules coming up to starboard of the A-frame.
See that starboard of the airframe. Control, can I get the other view on the winch? Yeah, copy that. Back deck control, do you have the correct visual on the winch?
All stations, just as information, we do have a wrap in the line. Go ahead and taking it out now.
Control copy.
Control, back deck, that is Hercules, 10 meters from the transom.
Back deck, control copy, 10 meters from the transom.
Control deck, that is Hercules passing the transom.
Back deck, control, Hercules passing the transom.